week, Parshas Metzora, the Torah deals with the disease known as haras, which is commonly translated as leprosy. Although many explain that it really was a spiritual disease, it was not leprosy. And it affected a person's body, his clothes, his house. And on the body was a skin discoloration known as a nega, nun gimel ayin. Rabbi Frohlich makes the observation that the word nega has the same letters as the word oneg, which means pleasure, except that the letters are backwards, ayin, nun, gimel. And he explains the reason for this is very powerful. It's a great lesson. That the sages say that chacham eina barosho, that a wise person, before he engages in any pleasure, he always thinks about the consequences of what he's about to do and does not act impulsively. So it says of Frohlich that the world is here to be enjoyed. The Torah wants us to derive the greatest pleasure from the world. But that's only if the ayin, the eyes, are in the beginning. If you before you engage in that pleasure, you think about the consequences of what might happen if you have that pleasure. And that's why oneg, pleasure, the ayin is in the beginning. Ayin, nun, gimel. But if the ayin is only at the end, if you only afterwards, after you impulsively act, look back and say, look what happened. Was that really good for me? I engaged in this fleeting pleasure and it really didn't get me anywhere. Then it's a nega. Then it's something very negative and it can affect your life in a very bad way. And it's a powerful lesson in life. We have all these types of pleasures. The Torah wants us to engage in a pleasure that the world has to offer. We want to sleep late one day. We have a meeting, a business meeting. We're not going to sleep late. Why? Because we have our ayin barosho. We know that the pleasure of the pillow, although it feels great in the moment, but ultimately it's going to have negative consequences if we miss that meeting. What about if we want to sleep late and not go to davening one day, or miss an engagement to learn Torah? So in that moment, the pleasure seems so great, and we want that pleasure of the pillow. We want that pleasure of the other thing we want to do. But the Torah is teaching us that if you want to have it, if you want to have true oneg in life, true pleasure in life, always think about, put your ayin in the beginning. Think about the whole picture, the consequences of the pleasure that you're about to engage in, and where it will take you. And if you do that, you will have the ultimate oneg and not a nega. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.